There are small creators with half your view count, a fraction of your subscriber count, making 5 to 10 times what you're making. And it's not because they're better on camera or because they cracked some secret YouTube code. It's because they stopped chasing attention and they started building for alignment. They understood something that most creators miss. You don't need a bigger audience, you need a more quality audience. You need a better system. In fact, imagine 2 ships in the ocean. One is massive, flashy, fast, loud. The other's small, quiet, minimal. The big ship gets all the attention, but it's leaking. It's got, let's say, 5 captains yelling in different directions and a bunch of random passengers just wandering around aimlessly with no real idea where it's going or what's going on. While the smaller ship, it's tight. It's 1 captain, 1 mission, fewer passengers, but every one of them bought a ticket and knows exactly where they're headed. See, the creator getting rich isn't building the biggest ship or the biggest audience. They're building the leanest, the tightest, the most optimized. You've been lied to by the culture of growth. We all have. You hear more views and you think more success, more money, more opportunities. I've been in the YouTube space for over 8 years. I have friends with over 1 million subscribers, well over 1 million subscribers. And on the real, some of them have told me that they're straight up broke. Where on the other hand, I've spoken to very small creators with under 1,000 subscribers pulling in over $20,000 a month. In fact, I alone am pulling in over $10,000 a month in profit from my YouTube channel with less than 3,000 subscribers. It's not about the amount of people, it's about the quality. You need to remember that more of the wrong thing doesn't help you. In fact, it just hurts you. More unqualified attention just dilutes your message. The creators winning today aren't growing wider, they're growing deeper, leaner. They've chosen a specific person that they're speaking to, not an overarching demographic. A living, breathing, real human with a real problem. And they go so deep into that person's world that when that viewer actually finds their channel, they feel like they've been seen. And that's when the game of YouTube changes. See, a fundamental mindset shift to remember is that you don't get paid for attention. You get paid for transformation. Attention is what earns the click, sure, yeah. But transformation is what earns that trust. It's what gets that person to take action in whatever your offer is. So while you're trying to impress the algorithm, others, smaller creators, are building content that makes one specific person say, wow, that's exactly where I was stuck. Or wow, that's exactly how I feel. Or that's the first time someone's ever explained it like that. See, this isn't accidental, it's precision. It's precise content creation. In fact, let me give you another analogy. Imagine a wedding photographer. You have one who just markets themselves as a photographer, but the other, he markets himself and positions himself as, I help high-end wedding couples in Tuscany capture timeless, cinematic memories without posing awkwardly. See, both shoot weddings, but only one closes $8,000 gigs from Instagram DMs alone. Why? Because the second one knows exactly who they're speaking to. They don't care about volume, they care about resonance. That's what rich creators do. They define their Tuscany couple, their super targeted specific ideal client profile or niche, and they make content only for that person. If someone else stumbles across it, cool, right? But they're not optimizing for that person. This is where most creators mess up. They try to speak to everyone and end up converting literally no one. In fact, I have a reflection question for you. If someone binge watched your last 5 videos, would they know what to do next? Would they have a clear path forward? Would they know what you offer or why it matters or how to take the next steps to actually work with you? Or would they just think, wow, this person's really smart. Well, anyways, watch the next thing. And then move on. If you don't have a clean, seamless backend, your channel isn't a business, it's a hobby. The creators who are making $5, $8, $15, $25, $30+ a month with small channels, they're not doing anything magical. They've literally just built an ecosystem. Not some crazy giant funnel with 10 email sequences and 7 split test variations, just a clean, minimal, and clear journey, solving a problem or filling a gap for a very specific person. And that journey typically looks like the following, where they watch a video, your YouTube video, they realize that they have a problem, or they watch the video because of the problem. They understand that there's a solution, that you have it, and they get directed into a next step, which is your back-end offer. That's it. Clarity over complexity. Remember that. And I know this works because I work with a lot of creators one-to-one who have built this out, projected to make well over $100,000 a month within the next 60 days or so. And they have a super small channel. In fact, as I said earlier, just in the last 9 days, I've generated over $10,000 for myself in revenue, all from this small channel you're watching right now. You know, if you've ever been to a theme park, imagine being there right now. Imagine walking around outside that theme park, and imagine a guy's handing out a bunch of golden tickets for entry inside of the park. But the entrance gate into the park is not even built yet. That's what most creators are doing. They're driving traffic to nothing. Now, I want you to know that I fully understand and do believe in the MVP model, which is the minimum viable product, which is basically selling something that hasn't been fully finished or fully created, like a program. But most creators aren't even doing that. No, much worse. They're sending viewers to random things. 7 lead magnets, 3 offers contradicting each other, 4 conflicting call to actions, and a half-baked course that they're not confident in at all. It's super chaotic, and chaos doesn't convert. A confused buyer doesn't buy. The channels making real money, they're boring in the best ways possible. One clear message, one clear person, one clear outcome, one clear path. Every video reinforces that path. Every piece of content aligns with that journey. And over time, it compounds. Even if they're only getting 800 views per video, those 800 people are super high intent, aligned, and perfectly qualified for that back-end offer. This is subtle, but powerful. Your content isn't a teaser for your offer, it's a qualifier for your offer. And every story that you tell, every pain point that you hit on in your content, every truth that you reveal, it should be making the wrong person go, this video is not for me. And it should be making the right person go, wow, where has this video been all this time? And this is how, right here, a tiny channel becomes a conversion machine for your business. It's how I generate well over $10,000 a month from this channel alone without doing any cold outreach. And it's how my clients do the same thing, but like 10 times more than I'm doing right now. It's not about being impressive, it's about being relevant, because relevant content sticks, it spreads, it gets remembered, and it builds trust faster than any funnel ever could. So if you clicked on this video and you're watching this right now because you wondered, why are these small channels making more than me? Well, the answer isn't their niche or their thumbnails or their editing style. It's the fact that they're not focused on growing at all costs. They're focused on aligning with the right person and doing so with intent. And they've built a back end that turns alignment into income. And if you want that, don't start by posting more. Start by asking deeper questions like, who am I actually speaking to? What are they trying to actually solve? And am I building videos that lead to a destination to help fill that gap? Or am I just uploading to stay consistent? Because if you get clarity on those 4 things, your channel stops becoming a content machine and it starts to become a business flywheel or engine. Which, by the way, this is exactly one of the many things that I dive into excruciating depth on in my program called YouTube Accelerator. If you want to check it out, you can find it below this video. But before you go, I want to share one thing that most creators ignore. Even if you speak to the right person, even if you build the perfect backend, if you don't learn how to actually execute with clarity and momentum, everything I just told you doesn't matter. See, most creators hear everything I just said and do absolutely nothing. Then they stay stuck, overthinking, second guessing, tweaking the banner on their channel, planning a lead magnet that never launches, and suddenly 3 months go by, still broke, still stuck, and still convincing themselves they're building. The hard truth, and I've been there, which is why I can speak on it, is that most creators don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they've been productive in all the wrong directions. And that's why I made a video called How to Make 4 Weeks of YouTube Videos in Just 3 Days. So if you want to learn how to get that much content done in such a little time so you can actually really be building and spend more time on your actual business than on content, then click on that video right here to watch it now. With that being said, guys, remember, I'm rooting for you.